Investigators were back at Randy Taylor's home today. They were looking for clues into the abduction of Virginia teenager Alexis Murphy. Taylor's in jail, accused in her disappearance, but Murphy's still missing. Hers is the latest in a string of disappearances off Route 29 in Virginia. Steve Chenevieve's in the newsroom with more. Steve.
Yeah, and Gordon, first up, lots of activity and a lot of investigators right now at Randy Taylor's house. I just talked with the FBI. They say they are just conducting a follow-up search right now. We'll let you know if anything changes there. As for that region, the number of disappearances are just astonishing. As one person familiar with the investigation told me, between documented abductions and missing persons who may or may not be runaways, there may be as many as 18 unsolved disappearances in that region over the past 2 decades. Investigators now hope the most recent disappearance of Alexis will shed new light on those old cases.
As investigators continue to search for 17-year-old Alexis Murphy, they are reminded of other young people who have disappeared along Route 29, whose abductors have never been found. In addition to Murphy's disappearance near Lovingston, Deshad Sage Smith disappeared from Charlottesville in 2012, Samantha Clark from Orange in 2010, Morgan Harrington from Charlottesville in 2009, and Alicia Showalter Reynolds and Ann Carolyn McDaniel from the Culpeper area in 1996. Those 2 cases were at the time of the Route 29 stalker attacks, where more than a dozen women driving along Route 29 reported being stopped by a man who flagged them down. All of them got away except Reynolds, whose remains were found a few miles off the highway.
We do welcome the additional publicity and putting focus back on it.
Orange County prosecutor Diana Wheeler is one of many members of the legal community hoping Murphy's disappearance jogs the memories of people who live in this mostly rural area, particularly with the suspect, 48-year-old Randy Taylor, now behind bars, charged with abducting Alexis Murphy. He's also been a person of interest in Samantha Clark's disappearance since well before his recent arrest. And while investigators won't say if he's connected to any of the other unsolved abductions, they will say they're taking a fresh look at all of these cases dating back nearly 20 years, trying to close the cases for justice and the victims' families.
It's an open wound for them, and they still grieve a great deal because there's no knowing what happened.
Of those 6 unsolved missing persons we just showed you, investigators did find the remains of 3 of them in wooded areas or fields not far from Route 29. One of the places investigators have focused on every day in the search for Alexis Murphy, including right now, is a wooded area near Randy Taylor's home, just off Route 29. Autria?